What's up, guys? So I actually don't really have a script or a general idea of what I wanted to say in this video, and my head kind of hurts. But I made this video for a reason. That reason is because I have a lot to say about the current state of the underground right now. And low-key, if you want to know what was the cause of it, it was the whole Summrs versus Homixide gang type situation. And to be honest, I just gotta say one thing. The whole situation is fucking stupid and you really shouldn't care that much. Now, honestly, I understand why people do care. You know, I get it. Most people who are into like underground rap are young anyway. They probably don't have much to do. But this is more so for the people who do have much to do and maybe not. I don't know. I don't know the demographic of this video. Niggas, just listen. Time is a flat circle. Y'all realize that, right? And this Summrs versus Homixide gang situation reminded me that the underground is basically regressing back into the culture of like 2018 era, where instead of people were making actually good music to blow up, people would just make either okay or mid at best music, or maybe just god awful music 9 times out of 10, and do some crazy stunts on the internet or have a loud beef with somebody on the internet simply for clout. And unfortunately, that took precedent over the actual music that was being made. Remember, this is how Lil Pump and Trippie Redd rose to prominence. And while Trippie Redd has arguably good music, very arguably good music, I do feel like, you know, the music should be the face of the artist, not necessarily the beast, or not necessarily, oh, look at this crazy ass forehead diamond I put in my head. Summrs vs Homixide gang situation, it really does take me back to when X got knocked the fuck out on his stage. Except back then, or even debatably now, I wouldn't say back then because that's unfair, but it never really needed to get to this point. Like, I get it, you know, it was kind of a crazy thing that happened, and by like the first couple of days that happened, I was interested and intrigued about what was going on as someone who's enjoyed both Summrs and Homixide gang's music. But once they found out the jewelry Summrs had was fake, around that time is when I stopped caring. Don't get me wrong, that's fucking hilarious that his jewelry was fake, and it explains why he wasn't caring about the jewelry being stolen. But like, if I go on my YouTube page right now, it'll be somebody talking about some Homixide gang versus Summrs part 16, and it's like, dude, no disrespect to, oh bro, I understand you gotta get your bag somehow, but at some point, do niggas just need to stop caring, bro? Why do we have part 16 on this whole situation? Low-key, most of you niggas fell off after part 3. I fell off after part 2, nigga. For people who are still constantly getting up to date with this situation, get a job. Like, I'm being so for real. McDonald's is hiring right now. Like, at this point, we're becoming like the T-Spill community on YouTube. Remember when that was big? Or damn near the K-pop level, where we're just focusing more on drama than the actual music being made. Like, for example, the whole Xavier Sauvace versus Jason Your Rage, that's what his name was. It took me a long time to remember. No disrespect to Your Rage or anything. I just, for some reason, I couldn't think of his name. Anyway, getting sidetracked. That whole situation where Your Rage was basically saying all the underground trash, etc., etc. I ain't gonna lie, he low-key fucking right. At this point, the underground is comprised of 2 subsections, and those subsections are just being further developed. Whereas in something like 2015 or 2018 even, there was more diversity in the music that was coming out. Now you're either doing pluggnb, some form of it, or Rage, some form of it. You know, we had Osama Son with the Osama Season mixtape, which isn't even that bad of a tape, but it's obviously very Ken Carson and Carti influence. That sentence is probably how I describe a lot of people in the underground right now. we have not really had much innovation in the underground since like what, nigga, life? Like when Twizzy Flow came out, people are still using Twizzy Flow. And it's like, I get it. You know, it's the 2020s. It's the start of the 2020s still. And I feel like we shouldn't be so hastily to rush into new developments and shit. Jace's music hasn't been good recently. And I know he said in like a stream, I don't remember which one, but I know he said in a stream that he doesn't want to be an artist anymore, that he enjoys making music, but he'd rather be known as like a streamer or something, which is fine. But it's like, Jace, you do realize even if you're a streamer, you can't just be super hard to work with, can't just be this super difficult person to be around, this angry dude. Like, I get it, bro. I get it. A lot of people disrespect your name for whether it be clout, whether it be for dissing. I don't know anymore. I really don't care. But at some point, you just gotta block and delete and move on. Not everything needs to be this whole big blowout. And I feel like that's exactly what was going on in 2018. And we should be progressing from that era. Like, deadass, I'm not gonna lie to you niggas. Until Fantano reviewed A Love Letter to You 3, I was never gonna give Trippie Redd a chance. I always thought that he was in the same category as someone like Lil Pump, 6ix9ine, etc., who just have colorful hair, face tattoos, with like one or two big songs. But no, Trippie's actually very talented. I might not like a lot of his music, but I can understand the appeal. Unfortunately though, that's back then when you still need to have a good sound to be pushed forward. Take Homixide game for example, right? They've gotten a decent bit of popularity ever since Summrs got mollywopped on stage. But Fifth Amendment is one of the worst albums I think I've ever heard all year. Bino still sounds unenthusiastic and still kind of uses the same flow for everything. Michi still does not have a verse longer than 5 milliseconds, and they keep rapping over these internet money type beats, you know, that just make them seem. And I feel like this is a running problem with all of the underground right now. Deadass, name the last Summrs project you enjoyed. For me, it was Fallen Raven. Ghost was ass. I didn't like what we didn't have. Going on to Opium, I thought Great Chaos was good, but the rest of Ken Carson's discography was kind of mid. If Looks Could Kill was not that great. What else? Fifth Amendment was ass. Snot or Not was ass. A lot of shit that's been coming out recently isn't good. And then if you say anything about it, like at all, if you say anything about the whole situation, niggas, 13-year-old white kids will come up and swarm your comment section talking about some, oh, you're an old head, you just don't get it. Using this 2016 mentality when the whole wave of music was really starting to become popular with artists like Lil Yachty, Uzi, 21 Savage, Carti, etc., they're really still using that mentality. But the main difference is I can go back to something like Versus the World, 17, Little Boat 1, Only Volume 3, Jeffrey, etc., that they were calling trash and mumble rap, and it's still good music. I can't do that with the new fucking Rich Amiri record, and that's the problem. You niggas are just hyping up mid. Obviously, right? There will always be someone in the underground who's super talented. The next fucking Prince, for all we know, is a SoundCloud rapper working at McDonald's. But I don't feel like we should keep prioritizing the drama. If more underground YouTubers instead focused on the music, started reviewing the music like Anthony Fantano does, like Shawn C does, instead of constantly focusing on, oh, look, this is why Homixide gang should be kicked out of Opium. This is why Sofego will finally make a comeback. Autumn pedo allegations explained. We should be focusing on the music. If you want to talk about underground artists, fine. I don't mind that. If you want to talk about the drama once in a while, fine. I don't care. I'd be lying if it didn't intrigue me. But I feel like we should give more criticism towards the actual music that's being made instead of treating these people like they're influencers or treating these people, you know, like they're the real housewives of SoundCloud or something, you know? It's so weird, man. Look, I get it, bro. I get it. Because I keep saying this, it does pull in views and it does, like, intrigue a lot of people. Especially if the situation is going viral to the point where I'm going to school the next day and hearing about this shit from niggas I know who aren't tapped into the underground, or at least the same sphere of music as I am. This is my last video, but some of y'all are just way too quick to white knight for niggas you don't know. But this Summrs situation took it to a whole new level, because there was someone in the crowd when that whole thing was going on talking about some, I'll save you, Reno. The last thing I would talk about. I don't know what it is recently. I don't know if it's something in the water, something in the wok that y'all been sipping, but what the fuck is it with these pedophiles constantly making good music and then constantly falling off because people realize they're pedophiles? Every time I blink now, somebody got an allegation towards them. Autumn just had this whole situation. Allegations still running strong and rampant. Midwest just got fucking domestic abuse allegations, which was the last thing I was expecting. Of all people, Midwest. But let me know your thoughts, man. I've rambled long enough and I've just yapped too long enough, in my opinion. This video is probably going to be like 12 minutes long. If I kept going about how I felt, it'd probably be an hour long. But yeah, that's just my whole thoughts on everything that's going on in the underground right now. I'm gonna go lay my ass down because my head hurts. I'll catch y'all later.